It's once again 3 a.m. The witching hour, as I cough and kill myself. The witching hour. Just me and the dog are awake. That must mean it's another episode of MrBPD After Dark. That intro just seemed crappy. It's okay. I was talking to the dog. Dog got all excited. So welcome to MrBPD After Dark. It's not much different than regular MrBPD, except way earlier or later, depending on how you look at it. So to get advertising out of the way first, this channel is completely fan funded through PayPal. We accept donations. You can find a link in the description if you want to help this channel out. Now we can get to the good stuff. I've been doing this channel about almost 5 years now. And I don't even have 2,000 subscribers. And YouTube is so huge, you would think, I thought, or I still do think, that I should have more subscribers. I mean, there's other BPD channels out there, granted. So there's a lot of competition. Yet I'm the only one that's doing it from a male point of view. Well, not the only one, but the only one that matters. Just kidding, of course. So, not really. I'm the only one that keeps it real, that tells it like it is. It's raw and gritty. Maybe that's the problem. It's okay, buddy. I'm just making a video. You'll have to get used to it. Just lay back down. Buddy the dog was confused, wondering why I was just standing here talking incoherently. He'll get used to the fact that I gotta make videos. Or he won't. I don't know. Still haven't decided if I'm keeping it or not. If I get 5,000 subscribers by Friday, I'll keep the dog. It's a good way to boost my subscriber count and, well, help me make the decision on the dog. So if you've not yet subscribed, well, that was a good time. And get your friends and family to subscribe, and I'll keep Buddy the dog. Good deal. I got into an altercation with my neighbor the other day over the dog because I was keeping him outside for the most part, trying not to bond. So I was keeping him outside, and he just wants attention. So he was out there just barking and barking and barking. I mentioned this in my last video. Just he wouldn't shut up. After 3 days of this, the neighbor came over to complain. Everyone's going to think I'm a jerk for jumping down the neighbor's throat or whatever. But this neighbor is a dick. I don't care, he is a dick. For the last 2 years that I've lived here, he has nitpicked every little thing that goes on and complains and bitches and whines. He's come over here before to complain about crap. I just wasn't in the mood for it anymore. At some point, you have to draw a line in the sand, or there's no pleasing some people. He acts like he's my dad. Not even my dad's allowed to act like he's my dad. Coming over here telling me, complaining about when I have people stop by, complaining that the dog's outside. And I knew he was going to come over because I'd found out that he'd come over earlier in the day, but he didn't talk to me. No, he was harassing my company that was stopping by. Apparently, he stopped them before they were able to come up to my place to complain to them to give me a message about the dog that he was going to report me for animal abuse because the dog was outside and had no food and water or shelter, which, other than the dog being outside thing, was all a bunch of crap. The dog had a shed it could go into if it wanted to. Definitely had food and water. And my roommate had built him a dog house. Yes, the barking was an issue, but it wasn't going to make it any better if I went outside to try to keep the dog from barking. It's a new environment, and we have a huge backyard, and we live out in the middle of nowhere for the most part. I mean, there are deer that come through the backyard, possums, cats, all kinds of wildlife. Of course, the dog's going to bark. The couple times I did go out to see what the dog was barking at, it ended up being the neighbor in his backyard all creeping around being nosy. So, F that guy. F him right in his a-hole. That's how I was prepared for him to come over. I had thought about going to his house to tell him to not harass my company, yet I realized I could do something stupid and punch him on his property or something, and I didn't want to do that. Well, sure enough, he did end up coming over, and it was great because I was pissed off already. I'd been pissed off all day and was just waiting to unleash on somebody. Decided it was his time. And I love the look on a person's face when you call them a dick. They always get this look on their face of just utter, I don't even know how to describe it. Shock, maybe? Just, because that's what I did, just right out the gate. Because I answered the door, he starts talking about the dog and saying how he's going to report it. It's got no food and water and stuff. And I'm like, good, go ahead, report it. Report the dog. I would rather the sheriff come up here than have you come over knocking on my door again, you dick. And he's just, what? And I'm like, you're being a dick. You've been a dick for a while. And he's like, I have been quite nice. I'm like, if being a dick's nice. And then it just escalated. It ended pretty much with him wanting me to come out in the street and fight him. I was trying to get him to punch me on my property, or the roommate's property. He was smart enough to know that was a bad idea. So he wanted to go street fight in the middle of the road. I thought about it, but I'm too old to be street fighting in the middle of the road. I'd got my point across. If he wants to report me, report me. At least then I'll have a harassment charge. Because if he's got to report it, then they'll have to report it, and it'll be a bunch of. I mean, the sheriff will come. I'll put on a pot of coffee, and we'll talk about how much of a dick he is. That's about what will happen in that situation. And he was trying to act like he was concerned about the dog. He wasn't concerned about the dog. He just waits for something to bitch about. At least that's my opinion. I am overly aggressive at times. One thing I don't like is people coming to my door and complaining. Uh, the way I was raised growing up is the best thing to do is to mind your own damn business. I don't care what my neighbors do. I don't. They can do whatever the hell they want, and I will never complain and I will never bother them because it's their property and I don't care. I do not care enough about them to let it bother my life. The only time I do start to care is when they start nitpicking me because then they're bugging me and they need to just go and do their own damn thing. So hopefully I made that clear to them. And I like to say that I want to be a nice person and all of that, but I'm really good at being an asshole. And there are just times when I really do enjoy it, if I'm going to be completely honest. I mean, it's fun to be a dick sometimes. What do you all think? I mean, do any of you just sometimes let yourself be just complete ass just for the fun of it? Let me know in the comments section below. And, well, remember to subscribe and send donations. Till next time, keep on keeping on.